What is going on, guys? Okay, so today we're going to talk about the cost to close an apartment building. So this is information that's not very widely known. A lot of people won't share this information. I'm not sure why. Maybe just because it's financial information. But I just want to give you guys a little bit of a rundown. So if you've ever been curious, then you have an idea what it costs to actually close something like this. And if you're a managing partner and you're just looking to get into real estate investing and you are getting into multifamily, or you've been in multifamily for a long time and you want to compare prices, you can use this board. So before we get going, I'll just say I did leave a lot of stuff out of here. Like I do have a good template for you guys, but I left a lot of stuff out. Like your when you do an inspection, I left your contractors out because like we take an army of people through. Like we take our main trade, like our GC, we take plumbers, we take like there's a lot of people that are involved. Your acquisition fee, that always varies. So there is information missing, so it will cost you more than the numbers I've provided you. So just with that in mind, and then also one other thing is your deal. If you do a deal, your stuff will probably change categories. So I broke it down into 3 lines. You have your upfront costs, you have your due on close, and then built into the loan costs. So yeah, hopefully this helps some people. Deposit. This will obviously vary, but we paid a $5,000 deposit. That's what we negotiated. It was a good. That's a very good deposit. Most deposits for a building, a 16 unit, $1.4 million building with a $1.2 million loan. So 1.4 million. Usually you're going to be a $30,000 to $50,000 deposit. So we saved quite a bit of money up front just by negotiating that. And it was an off-market deal. It wasn't MLS. So I like working directly with the sellers. So if you go the CMHC route, if you're in Canada, that's a mortgage insurance provider. They basically provide insurance to the banks so they can allow you to have a lower interest rate. If you want to do that, you have to do an application fee, and it's actually on a per door basis. So ours was 16 units and it was 2.4 or 2,400. I think it's 150 a door, but don't quote me on that. And then after 100 doors, it drops to 100. But I can look that up and verify it in the notes. So 2,400, and then you get into your Enviro Phase 1 and your BPCA. So this is your baseline property condition assessment. These two are mandatory if you are going to get conventional financing or bank financing. The banks do require it. That's just a liability thing for them. And even if you were going to say pay cash for this deal, or say you didn't need bank financing, or you had an investor who was going to pay, I would recommend getting the Enviro Phase 1, just because if you project out 20 years when you're going to sell it, or X amount of years when you're going to sell it, or when your family's going to sell it, you don't want to run into an Enviro Phase 1 problem and have to go into Phase 2 and then remediation and stuff like that. I'd rather know up front when I buy it, and then at least I can work on the seller or work with the seller instead of having it become a problem when I go to sell. So that is definitely a good recommendation, and they're about $3,000 each. So now you're going to start spending. So now you get into the JV agreement. That's about $3,000. That was a more complex JV agreement. You can get them done a lot cheaper. The corp on title. So this is the corporation that's actually on title. Your partners or investors will hold shares in the corporation. That was $1,500. Bookkeeping setup's about $300. Lender loan deposit. This will vary by your lender and by your loan amount, but ours was about $12,000, and that is refundable, so it actually comes back to the lawyers prior to closing. It's just basically collateral for the bank to know that you're serious before they start doing all the paperwork to release the money. So all in, you're about $30,000 minimum. Due on close, our legal was about $5,500. Title insurance was $1,500. Disbursements was $5,300. Miscellaneous legal $400, and then our broker fee was $15,000. So we actually blended it into our mortgage. So we built it into the loan, and I'll do another video on why I did that, just some strategies. And yeah, the broker fee basically varies by your broker. It'll be anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 depending on the loan size, but a lot of them are just standard. So I don't know, if I was doing a loan under $1 million, I wouldn't go through a broker. I'd go directly through the bank, but that's just me personally. So all in here, you're about $23,774. So yeah, you're about $50,000 like cash that you will need to close a deal. of 16 units. Now what you build into the loan, your PST on your premium is 34.12. Interest adjustment, it was a long close, is about 2,600. Broker fee is about 4,000. Bank solicitor is 9,000. And the broker fee, remember, goes back, so that was 15,000 actually. Bank solicitor is 9,000. And then tax holdback, this will vary by your lender. Different lenders will want 4 months, 6 months, 12 months. So we did 5 months. We did 4 months. So $4,900. And then we ended up going the CMHC route. So we were 56,877. That, and a lot of people think that's crazy. They'll see that and be like, oh, why would you do that? But everything we do in our company, every dollar we spend, I run projections out on it, and I make sure that money's going to come back to us in the future, and basically that money's going to make us money. So with this, I ran projections out. Well, actually, I'll start off with CMHC. It allowed us to get a 2.62% interest rate on a 35-year AM. And if you didn't go CMHC, if you went conventional, you're looking at about 4.5% on a 30-year AM, maybe, but probably a 25-year AM. So that affects your cash flow, that affects your debt service, just everything. So it might make or break a deal at the start. And like, I wouldn't do a deal just on that, but you know what I mean. So I ran it out on 5, 10, 15, 20, and 30 and 35-year projections and compared it against the 4.5%. And it actually pays for itself really quick. It doesn't take long. And then after so many years, you're actually making money just because of the low interest rate. So it's better because you get, number one, better cash flow just because your interest rate is so low. So our debt servicing is cheap on a $1.2 million loan. And then you actually pay off a lot more quicker. So, yeah, what else can I talk about here? So all in, you're about 80,000. So 50,000 up front. And then if you do CMHC, you're 80, so you're about 135,000 pretty much to close it. So I would say if you're looking to get into multifamily, I would definitely get to know these numbers. And like I said, I did quoting on everything that I could, but I was still out on a ton of stuff, and it's a lot of money. These things will straight up bankrupt you if you do them wrong. So you need to know what you're doing. You need to know what you're up against. You need to raise enough money, because if you're into it for $50,000 and your deal goes bad, or you end up with a high interest loan or something and you're negative cash flowing on it, like, it'll bleed you to death. And so you need to know what you're doing. And if you're a passive investor looking to invest with somebody, you need to know somebody who knows this stuff. It's very important information. So I was working with quite a few people on this one, so it was good. That's how I kind of did it. And it's just, it's going to be interesting too, because right now I'm on the hunt. I want to find a 70 unit building. Like this loan is small as far as loans go. That's why the brokers charge so much. They actually bundled our $1.2 million loan with a whole bunch of other mortgages to get it off to the bank that we used, or the lender that we used. So like, the lender wouldn't even touch a $1.2 million loan. So that's kind of where that price comes in. But it's all interesting stuff. I hope this helped you guys. And if you like it, just hit the subscribe button. And I got a ton of more stuff coming your way. So see you guys later.